Guess what, Spurs fans? Your silver and black are going to survive. There's no 3-0 deficit. Your San Antonio Spurs get a Game 3 win in Madison Square Garden. Scary Madison Square Garden. 115-111. The series is now 2-1. Knicks are in the favor, but now we have a series. Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcast. The list goes on and on. Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Go find it right now. Just search for it. Go sign up right now. Hit that subscribe. Be part of the crew. And as always, we thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You want to unsubscribe to the rest? Just subscribe here to Spurs in Focus whenever you need to hear, listen, talk some silver and black. I am your host, Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. The guy next to me, this time on video, not having tech issues like last time, Mr. Rudy Campos with the Sports Answer. You want to follow him on X at the Sports Answer. And a quick side note, I learned this right before we hit the live button, everybody. Did you know Rudy was the CGI model for He-Man? He's actually, in this, just wearing the loincloth and the chest plate. Rudy, man, you must have been working out.
I have been. I've been on the Jeff Garcia training regimen. So lifting. I'm up to lifting. See, you lift like what, 500, 600? I'm barely at 50 or 60 right now. So I just got to keep working out a little bit harder.
Well, guess who was He-Man tonight? Your San Antonio Spurs. Yes, they avoid disaster. Heading into tonight's game, it was not just a must win. It was a do or die. You go down 0-3 to the Knicks, the season, your series is all but a wrap. Now there will be a Game 5. Now there's a wild card going on. The Knicks still have home court advantage. There's that. But nevertheless, at least the Spurs showed that they're still in the fight. There will be 2 more chances for the Spurs to not only tie the series, but take the series lead. We'll see what happens, but that's for a later show. We're going to be reacting to today's win against Spurs, 115-111. So many takeaways from this, from Wemby to Castle to Mitch Johnson to crunch time. A lot of key stuff that happened in the game. Rudy, I want to kick things off with some general observations. You know how we do it here at Spurs in Focus. Overall, I like that this team showed a lot more poise throughout the game. The Spurs were able to maintain a lead, and even when they lost the lead, they regained it back. So that showed me they came in with the right mentality, the right poise, and dare I say they learned a lot of lessons from dropping the first 2 games into Game 3. And it was a hostile city. Not kidding. F-bombs were being thrown to Wemby and Mitch Johnson. They were called loser on the street, and they survived it. When all the odds were stacked against the Spurs heading into Game 3, they overcame something that we've seen throughout the playoffs. We have an obstacle, the Spurs overcome it. You lose 2 games in a row to the Thunder, they overcome it. Oh, you got to play Game 7 in OKC, they overcome it. You got to play a couple games in the postseason without Wemby because of concussion, they overcome it. We saw it again tonight. So that poise that we've seen shone bright tonight in Game 3. We're going to get to Wemby and all that stuff in a bit. But overall, Rudy, one more thing before I turn the mic over to you is they didn't get rattled. And that's one thing I like. We saw in the first 2 games they got rattled. We didn't see that at all. The Knicks, they made their comeback. The Knicks, they made it very interesting to close out the game. Anunoby with a 3-shot in the final seconds of the 4th period to kind of put the butterflies in Spurs fandom. But they maintained. They stepped up to the free throw line. They made them. They got key rebounds. They got them. Rudy, the big word for me is I think they showed a lot of poise tonight. Your thoughts?
Absolutely, man. After 2 tough games, Game 1 and Game 2, both games very winnable by San Antonio. They came out different in Madison Square Garden. Came out very, very hot. Something that we talked about a lot was getting Victor involved. Only 4 shots in the first half last game. He had like 4 shots in the first 5 minutes in tonight's game. Was a perfect 4 for 4 to start the game. You saw him get off early. You saw Stephon Castle get off early. Those 2 guys, when they get in a rhythm to start the game, it's going to be a lead actually after the first period. And you're right, the poise. Why? Because the poise was huge tonight, especially in the 4th quarter. Especially after a second straight debacle in the second quarter, giving up 42 points
Yeah,
in that
brutal.
quarter. I think that's when you texted me, said, "Is this game over?" And I'm thinking, maybe, but maybe not. It's still not quite over yet. That's when the little bit of experience that we've seen, players like De'Aaron Fox and Devin Vassell, those guys, even Victor Wembanyama, their experience came into that third quarter and they were able to lead San Antonio back into the game. And it paid off a whole lot at the end of the game as well. That
Mhm.
poison confidence there. Normally we watch the Spurs team kind of get rattled in game one and game two in that fourth quarter. Looked like they were getting a little rattled as well in this
Mhm.
game, but just timely possessions by Fox when he hit that shot from the top of the key, who's able to get a block on Karl-Anthony Towns after a turnover. Wemby just, wreaking havoc on the defensive
Mhm.
side. One of the highlights, actually, I'm going to save it for one of my turning points of the game because it was very late in the game. Was a defense that I saw from San Antonio, one play that just blew my
Mhm.
mind. So, yeah, man, not only that, it's, one of the key words I've seen tonight in the chat so far is clutch. They were
Mm.
clutch in the fourth
Interesting.
quarter.
Yeah.
Something that, they haven't been in games one and game two is clutch. And it just felt good to see the San Antonio Spurs, who, let me reiterate again, Jeff, they have yet to lose more than 2 games in a row this season.
That's a good point.
So they learned from their mistakes. They understood they had game 1 wrapped up and they let it go in the fourth. They knew they could have easily won game 2 and just let it slip away. A different Spurs team came into this game more confident, more focused in this game.
Mhm.
I do hope they go into game 4 with the same mentality a little bit because I
Yeah.
want them to be a little bit more nastier, a little bit more physical, and I want them to just continue to ride the wave of game 3 because getting game 4 and bringing the series 2-2, that momentum shift is astronomical if they were
Mhm.
able to get game 4. So tonight, yes, poised for you. For me, the word is clutch.
Yeah. Look, I know the Spurs got the W. I understand that, Rudy. But I also understand that the war is not over. The battle's just beginning. But why does it feel weird? Why does it feel weird? Like the Spurs got the win, and Spurs fans are probably like, okay, good. Like it doesn't feel like celebratory. Why does it feel kind of like a oh thank God, and that's it? Why does it feel weird? Like
Because
when the Spurs win, everybody's like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. This feels
people are
more like
hugging, I'm sure.
oh, I'm pretty sure they are, but you know what? I live downtown San Antonio. Everybody, I don't hear honking right now, at all, at all.
Is it
It's
raining?
quiet. Not it's not raining, but maybe they're just maybe everybody got their keys. Like, oh yeah, they won. Let's go. They were chalked up to an L instead of a W.
Yeah.
But why does it feel weird right now, even though the Spurs got the dub?
You're down 0-2. I mean,
Yeah.
put it this way, this wasn't a typical game where the Spurs get the win and it's like, all right, they won by 20 something, against Minnesota, or they blew out Oklahoma City or something like that. It was a win that was a business win, and it was a win that you
Mhm.
just do not celebrate, Jeff. It's one of those
Mhm.
wins where you don't celebrate it. You go into MSG, you get game 3. Now, if you get game 4, absolutely, it's
Mhm.
going to be a big sigh of relief, a big breath of fresh air. You're going to see a lot more celebratory fans, and Spurs may actually be like, okay, we can be kind of
Yeah.
chill a second here going back to San Antonio. But tonight was all business, and that's the way it felt with the San Antonio game. You mentioned it before we started the stream, like, hey, why does it feel like it's a win, but it's just kind of like
Mhm.
they got to win. It's because it's a business win, man. It's a win
Mhm.
that you needed to get. They went in, they got the job done. You didn't see them high-fiving everything. You didn't see them celebrating. You didn't see them even smiling somewhat. They just got business
Mhm.
done. They went to the back of the locker room, and that was it. They understand that it's not over, that they need to get game 4 as well. So that's why it felt different. That's why you may not
Yeah.
hear a whole lot of honking downtown and stuff, because again, you're just happy to get game 3. Nothing to
Yeah.
celebrate right now. Game 4 is a different story.
I asked this question online on X, the same thing I asked you. Like, why does it feel weird right now, even though Spurs got the W? A lot of Spurs fans are kind of in agreement, saying, like, yeah, it does feel off. And the majority of the vibe is this that it feels more like a, whew, that's all. Like, God, like, good Lord, thank you. That's
Because
what it
you
feels like.
expected a loss, man. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you were close in the fourth quarter. You expected Brunson and you expected, even Karl Anthony Towns, who had a terrible game tonight, was
He
probably
did,
the
yeah.
Finals MVP so far up
Mhm,
until this game. But I mean, now you're looking at Cat had a very bad game, so the Spurs
mhm,
did do something different. The coaching staff and Sean Sweeney got together, did a whole different game plan. But
mhm.
you kind of felt like, "Whoo, it's over, and thank God we got the win." Because technically, I mean, when we look at the stats in a little bit, this on paper, this is probably a loss for San Antonio if you look at a lot of
Right?
stats. So
It does, yeah, it does, you know, especially that disastrous second period. That second period, I thought that was it. That was ball game. I said, it's like, oh my god, you know, like there's no way they can, you know, that they're gonna be able to survive all this, you know, after with the
sure.
second period. And remember the second half, for the most part, usually been Knicks time. And one clue though that I did, you know, the takeaway that I had here, general takeaway that I knew that the game might like is in the second half that might likely swing the Spurs way is because you saw the scoring kind of go higher. The Spurs were the first to 100. We saw a higher output of offense. I said, okay, this kind of plays in the Spurs way. And I think that was good. The Knicks like to muck things up, make things dirty, you know, and they didn't really get a chance to establish that. And another reason why I also felt like it kind of feels weird, even though Spurs got the W, is because there were still a lot of mistakes this team did. A lot of mistakes, silly turnovers, silly fouls. You know, Keldon, what were you doing pushing Mitchell Robinson? You know, it was obvious. You know, I when I saw Vassell lose his cool with Landry Shamet there, you know, kind of throw him a little chicken wing. I said, oh my God, they're in their heads now. It also feels like too like the Spurs had to fight for this one. Like it didn't come easy. Like they had to fight and claw for this one.
There.
Unfortunately, the Spurs got the win. You know, one other general takeaway I have about the Spurs win is this: is it it just another reason why it feels weird is because it feels like, all right, Spurs, your season is still on the line, no matter what. If they lose Game 4, yeah, I don't think in history, I don't. At least maybe you can correct me. I don't think if any NBA team has come back from a 3-1 deficit in an NBA Finals because that would mean you have to beat the
I
Knicks by
gotta do
2.
my
That would be
homework.
gross. But that it just feels like they're still teetering on their season being over,
Mhm.
just with one more loss. Am I reading that too much, Rudy?
No, man, you're not reading into that too much. I mean, I gotta do my homework on a 3-1 series
Yes.
lead. I would say 3-1 is probably close to 100%, probably like
Yeah.
the 3-0 lead. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's you gotta. I mean, now it's more than ever. You got to take one game at a time, and that's
Yeah.
what the Spurs are doing right now. They came into Game 3, and it's funny because I texted our buddy Jacob Eric earlier, and
Hmm.
I told him, Imagine if they went in and got both games 3 and 4 from
Hey.
New York. I mean, to me, that would be like I how big of a moment in Spurs history would that be if they got games 3 and 4 in New York? I mean,
That would be huge. Yeah.
that would be a massive moment going into game 5. So, um, 3-1, I would say it's over. Game 4 is gonna be the deciding factor. I think if the
Yeah.
Spurs are able to get game 4, they probably get more momentum and control the series. If the Knicks get game 4, it's probably doesn't go past game 6, if anything. So, but again, tonight's kind of the reason why you don't really count the team out in San
Hmm.
Antonio because let's be honest, man, both of these teams are the best teams in the league. That's why
Hmm.
they're in the NBA finals. I mean, I was telling you that the Oklahoma City Thunder, I didn't believe in them this year, and you saw why. The Spurs could handle
Yeah.
it. But the Knicks and the Spurs, two best teams in the league right now, they're in the finals for a reason. I have to say, man, this is probably the gutsiest win I've seen from San
Yeah.
Antonio all year. Can I easily say
It
that?
was a gutsy one. Yeah. And it felt like, man, Spurs, you got one, man, but this, you know, so many things had to go wrong and right. It, this is
Yeah.
me like when I kid you not, Rudy, when the final buzzer went off, I was still sitting on my couch like this, like, did we win? Like it's over, right? Like it's done. And it's just a weird feeling versus woo, we won and yelling and screaming. Every win throughout the Spurs postseason run so far, my entire apartment complex goes wild. They did not go wild tonight. And again, it felt like more like you said, a business win. You had to go to NYC, go to MSG, take care of business, and that's it. Very business like. More on that later, as far as my key takeaways. Uh, but overall, look, the Spurs live to fight another game. There will be a game 5 in San Antonio. Hopefully, the Spurs can extend it beyond game 5. We'll see. Game 4 is coming up on Wednesday, still in New York City. Look, the Spurs, give them credit, man. They went into hostile territory. I mean, the buzz about MSG and Game 3 and the first time since 1999 that New York City has had any finals experiences in the city, and it was just all mounting up. I was like, man, can the Spurs handle all that shine and handle all that spotlight? And they handled it pretty well.
Yeah,
Both
I wanted
teams,
to
go ahead.
go ahead. No. You finish your thought.
I would say that both teams seem to be very well. First of all, credit the Spurs. They came out swinging, and I thought that was a good sign. They came out with a 7-0 lead, I believe. They built up a lead, and they were able to maintain the lead. I kept saying throughout the game, just maintain your lead, Spurs. Just maintain. I don't care if you have a 1-point lead going into halftime. Just maintain the lead. That's all I wanted to see, that because you just like stiff arm the Knicks. Like, just stop, just stop, just stop. It's all I wanted to do. And for the most part, they did that. I think they kind of also grew and understood exactly what needs to be done in a final stage of it. You saw them play a little smarter basketball. You saw them being the aggressors, being the more physical team. That's what needs to be done. They set the tone pretty early for the game. They relinquished it a little bit at times to the Knicks, especially in that second quarter, but they regained it. So from the poise to the control, getting the scoring output up, the Spurs, they did good. They did good. I'm not going to give them an A plus. That's for sure. This is not an A plus game from this. This is more like a C plus game. They're just lucky, like you said. Cat didn't have a good game. Brunson didn't have a Brunson game that everybody thought that he was going to have. He was saddled with foul trouble. Bridges didn't really show up and make an impact on the game. So a lot of things went the Spurs' way. Some things that the Knicks didn't do helped the Spurs. So I think they did a C plus game. B to be safe, a way to get the win. Your thoughts?
Yeah, before I get to my thought on that, and before I get to what I was going to say,
Mhm.
we got a super chat in here. Sad Sports Talk with Austin for $5. Appreciate the super chat for $5 there, Sports Talk
Yeah,
with
thank you,
Austin.
Austin.
It says De'Aaron Fox delivers again. He's clutch when it matters. Just step back to Isaac. Quit doubting him. Quit doubting him. Him fired up tonight. Love me some Fox now. What have I been telling you all year, Jeff?
That's all you, man. You're all the Fox guy. You break out your Fox jersey right now.
I wish I owned one. I don't have one. I need to get one. No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people give him crap. And I understand when he has a bad game, I call him out and I say he had a bad game. And
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. But what I've always said from day one was people blame him and want to trade him because of his contract. That's it. It's just because of his contract. If he was making the same amount as, Devin Vassell or, a Keldon Johnson, you would probably say, okay, he had a few turnovers. He had a bad game. Okay, it's okay. You're not getting paid that money. But again, it goes back to, well, he's been a veteran. He's been all NBA. He's had all this. So he's actually owed that kind of money, whether it was a Spurs or somebody else. We're going to pay him. So I get it. He's not going to have 25 points a night like he did in Sacramento. It's the 10 points, the 11 points, but it's the control at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
He may have a turnover like he did tonight when he fumbled that ball, but he tends to make up for it with a steal, with hardcore defense, with a block on Cat in a timely manner. So he makes up for a lot of stuff, and he's the veteran you need on the floor. And it goes back to what one of our buddies, Chris Leha, said at one time on one of the shows that we did, when he said everybody griped and said, well, the Spurs can never bring a free agent in or a big time player in because nobody wants to kill him in San Antonio. This guy wanted to be in San Antonio, and now fans want to get rid of him when he has a bad game. Well, that 2 points at the end of the game, right. Austin's right. It iced the game. It took all the wind out of the Knicks' sail right there. So, yeah, got to give him credit. Got to give him credit, man. You got any thoughts on that?
Oh, actually, I'm going to give you Mitch Johnson's thoughts on that. Mitch Johnson had to say this. I'm going to leave his picture up there so y'all can, so Rudy can relish in the photo of De'Aaron Fox. So that's his guy.
Stop.
He says, it is actually post game, game 3. De'Aaron has been one of the best closers in this league for the last, I don't know what it is, 5 to 7 years, whatever it may be. He's been a great closer for us. We trust him with the basketball in his hands, just like we do with any other main guy that dominant with the ball. They make good decisions. There are times where they got to be aggressive for themselves, et cetera, et cetera. Then he goes into about the team. But yeah, I mean, Mitch Johnson giving De'Aaron Fox his flowers after game 3. And by the way, Austin, thank you for that super chat. Rudy, yeah, before we continue, you want to talk about super chats real fast?
Yeah, so just like Austin did, a lot of you guys out there send super chats. If you send us a super chat, we appreciate it. What we'll do is we'll get your comment up on the screen ASAP. We'll react to it. We'll answer any questions that you guys have. The super chats go to the front of the line, so your comments go up before everybody else's. And what does that do? That's the best way to help support Spurs in Focus here with Jeff and I for us to do the post game shows and all that. Hey, man, nothing's free in life. We got to pay to do all these shows for you guys here, and that basically helps us cover those costs right there. So appreciate every super chat we get.
Yeah, thank you, Austin. I really, really appreciate it. Again, look at that. Even the Austin Spurs fans are helping out the team. See, it does work there. Again, everybody, you're watching a live episode of Spurs in Focus, reacting to the Spurs 115-111 win in Game 3. The series is not over. Your Spurs are going to live on to at least be a Game 5. Hopefully, they can extend that to the series is now at 2-1 with the Knicks in the lead. Now, Rudy, before we get to our specific takeaways, one more thing too, I thought was very interesting is that we still, again, I know the Spurs got the win, but we still didn't get, like, outside of Castle, and more on him in a bit. But you look at the Spurs, did they get help today? I guess Vassell, he gave us 11 points. Harper gave us 13 points off the bench, but Keldon still 7 points off that bench. Carter Bryant, Luke Cornett. Where am I going with this, everybody? Why does it feel like the Spurs' depth is getting exposed? That maybe it's not that deep? It just feels like you're relying a lot on the starting unit plus Harper. Your thoughts?
It feels like it because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the NBA Finals, Jeff. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. You don't want to go Tom Thibodeau and play 6 guys only
Yeah.
for 48 plus minutes, but you're gonna need more Wemby out. You rest these guys all season. You kind of limit their minutes, and again, that was one of the reasons why Wemby didn't get a whole bunch of MVP votes because people had a problem with him playing less than 30 minutes a game. And I'm like, well, who gives a crap? If he would have played more minutes, he would have had better stats. So I mean, facts are facts, but nonetheless, I think you're feeling that way because these guys are gonna play big minutes. I mean, this is it. There's no more basketball after this series. So you're gonna have these guys lay on the line. This is what they trained all year for. The only guy that's not gonna get 34, 35 plus minutes is Julian Champagny. I mean, Dylan Harper is gonna eat into his minutes. He's getting 30 plus minutes now. So yeah, it feels like the rotation is a lot smaller, but I'm okay with that only because it's the NBA Finals. You're not exhausting these guys against the Minnesota Timberwolves or a second or first round in the playoffs. You're doing it in the NBA Finals. These guys want to be out here. It's winning time. You've got to get these wins. There's no more tomorrow. No, you got to get them now. So I like the fact that his rotation has gone to 9 players maybe, and then you get a Harrison Barnes sighting every now and then. I'm completely fine with that. Yes, you're going to get exhausted players, but at the same time, look at the combined age. I mean, they're like a 26, 25-year-old team on the starting 5. So yeah, they're relatively young, man. And I mean, the Knicks are going at least 10 players, 11 players deep. Well, 10 players deep. They played Sohan tonight. He doesn't really count. But they got 10 players deep right now, which again, Spurs are playing 9, Knicks are 10. Not much of a difference.
No, not at all. All right, let me give it to my big 3 key takeaways from the Spurs win. Then we're going to take a break. Then we're going to hear from Rudy and his big takeaways from Game 3. Here we go. Put them on the screen for y'all. We finally got it. Wembanyama erupts, and that was a huge takeaway from this game. Wemby, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He was a +7 on the night in 38 minutes. He goes 64% shooting from inside the 3 arc, 50% shooting from the 3 line, and 1 turnover. I thought that was huge. 3 blocks, 2 steals. Overall, we finally needed that type of performance from him. He had balance, impact throughout the entire game, not this first half, 1 half, second half, and that's it thing. No, he had 15 points in half 1, 17 points in half 2, and the crucial 10 points in the 4th period. So we finally got Wemby to play all 4 periods as a big takeaway. How about this? Fourth period free throws. I thought the Spurs did a damn good job in that fourth period getting to the free throw line. They go 10 for 10. They ice it from there. That was a huge win. That again, that goes back to the poise, doing the little things, making your free throws. 10 for 10 in a crucial fourth period where the game is on the line. You have the Knicks storming back. OG Anunoby hits a key three in the few seconds left to make it very interesting. Castle steps up to the line, hits 2 free throws. The list goes on and on. Spurs made crucial free throws down the stretch. That's key takeaway number 2 for me. And I love this one. There was no celebrating post game. I did not see them act like they won the title. I didn't see them rejoicing on the court that they got game 3. I didn't even see them really celebrating and slapping hands and high-fiving each other. A little bit of claps here, but that's about it. When they were exiting the court back to the locker room, I liked that, Rudy. I appreciated that. That told me that they know it's just one game. They're behind the 8 ball still. They're still down 2-1. The Knicks still have home court advantage. They still now have to beat the Knicks, 3 out of 4 times, I believe, in the next few days if they can extend it.
Sure.
And I appreciated that. Rudy, I'm going to leave this on the screen. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. Number one with Wembanyama, Victor erupting tonight. Yeah, man, this is a game where I think for game one, he had like 12 or 13 free
Mhm.
throws for 26 points. And I told you, well, he had an SGA game. And then, the last game, he had four attempts in the first half. So this felt like a Victor Wembanyama type of game. Where are legends born in basketball, whether it
Mm.
be in Rucker Park or MSG?
Mhm.
It's New York City is where legends are born. He went out there and performed legendary tonight. So, yeah, this is the type of performance you're going to need in game 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter how many games it goes. He's got to have the exact same performance. This is it for Victor. He wants that title. He wants to be considered one of the
Mhm.
greats of the game, the face of the league. Well, you've got to give us performances like this every single night. Fourth period free throws, man. Periods 1 through 3. If I was rich and I had Jeff Garcia money, I would have probably
There
I
you
would
go,
have
Rudy.
picked my TV a bunch of
Mhm.
times tonight. So I would have had to go and buy one. Why? Because they're missing free throws left and right in those first 3
Mhm.
quarters. Probably a good 5, 6 points were all left on the free throw line. So this could have
Mhm.
easily been a double-digit win for San Antonio had they knocked down majority of their free throws in the first 3 quarters. But yeah, free throws at the end of the game, I mean, they were clutch. And that's the word I used earlier was clutch free throw shooting by
Yeah.
San Antonio. The celebrating, man, that's one thing we hit on the beginning. They was all business. They came into MSG, they understood they understood the task, they understood what they had to do. Again, go back to games 1 and 2. They lost those games on their own. I think we've
Mhm.
said that a million times. Game 2 could have been a completely different game. Game 1, they just lost. I mean, they gave up that lead. It could have been fatigue. I don't know what it could have been. Maybe it was the damn Fiesta color shirts. Maybe they just get rid of those damn things because they're probably hurting the eyes of the players. But what they need to do is just take those losses and put them back in the treasure chest or whatever and just throw it away. Throw it in
Right.
the ocean. Let it go. And that's what they did tonight. They came out, they played Spurs basketball, they played tough
Mhm.
basketball, especially in the fourth quarter. I like that they even played bully ball. I mean,
Yeah,
that
they did.
that goes against the celebration part. Played bully ball. They did not care. They got some fouls called on them, and they were fine with it. They were okay with it. Karl Anthony Towns draws a foul. He cries every single time. Where's the
Mhm.
foul? Where's the foul? Spurs don't do that. So yeah, no celebration tonight by San Antonio. You saw, and I hope it's the exact same type of
Mhm.
momentum, the exact same type of look going into game 4, because if it is, New York might be in a little bit of trouble.
Absolutely. All right. Those are my key takeaways. When we get back, we're going to hear from Rudy. What are his key takeaways? Then we're going to find out what was a turning point, standout stats, standout players, and then get into your comments to close out the show. Coming up next, right here on Spurs in Focus.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
And we're back right here, a live episode of Spurs in Focus on YouTube, YouTube Music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to the Substack. Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Go sign up right now. And if you're feeling generous and kind, leave us a super chat. We'll definitely read your comments. the moment it gets up. And Rudy's on the case. He's monitoring the chat room as we speak. We're talking about the Spurs' big Game 3 win. I should say, relief game win. 115-111. The series is 2-1. Knicks still in the lead. Game 4 will be in Madison Square Garden this Wednesday night. Hopefully the Spurs can really make it a series, the 2-2 tie going back to San Antonio. But look, they still got work to do, but we're going to react to Game 3. Rudy, before the break, I gave you my three key takeaways. What are yours?
So yeah, I'm going to give you my three takeaways or my few takeaways here. But you gave the Spurs a C+ performance tonight. I actually gave them a D+. I mean, that's how
tough crowd.
I mean, this is where I mean, we'll get into the stats later, but that's kind of why I said they blew me all you in, doesn't matter to me. I give them a low grade because they did enough just to get the win, is what it is. And it's not a negative thing towards San Antonio, because if you look at the stats, if I woke up tomorrow, Jeff, without seeing the game and I just saw the stats, I figured Spurs would have lost this game. They lost just about every single category, every reporting category. They ended up losing it. So that's why I'm a D+. But hey, a D+ is still passing, so you did win the game. But nonetheless, I mean, one of the takeaways for me was that clutch gene that we gave Jalen Brunson a lot in his first couple of games here. The San Antonio Spurs collectively had that clutch gene. Victor, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox at the end of the game, Dylan Harper. I mean, all these guys, even Keldon Johnson in there in winning time. I didn't expect that at all. All these guys in there, they just came together and they played a awesome last period of the fourth quarter, the last few minutes of the fourth, something we hadn't seen from them at all. So for me, my takeaway first takeaway was the clutch performance in the fourth quarter. Got to have more of that. Definitely got to see that more and more and more. Number 2 was defensive rotation. Okay. And this is kind of where I'm getting at too. One of my turning points of the game, I'm going to talk about it here and I'll give it to you later as well. But basically, there was a moment in the fourth quarter where the Knicks were moving the ball. The best team in NBA when it comes to moving the ball around and getting those second chance opportunities, getting those open threes and layups. The Knicks moved the ball around. They had the Spurs on skates in that one moment in the fourth quarter. Late in the fourth, the rotation by San Antonio was superb. I mean, you saw every player rotating over and over when it led to a Landry Shamet attempted a layup for the basket and Victor blocked him. And that was like, that was the best defensive sequence I had seen from this team in quite a while. That right there was a takeaway for me because it showed why this team was able to get this victory. It started on the defensive side of things. They made it very tough. Look at Cat. I mean, he had a horrible game tonight. 4 of 10 for shooting, 11 points on the night. He was in foul trouble. They got Jalen Brunson in foul trouble. This defense was on point. Third takeaway was they made the Knicks work tonight. And not just all the Knicks. I know Josh Hart had started off really good. OG Anunoby was probably the second coming of Larry Bird with everything that he was shooting tonight going in. But Jalen Brunson had 32, but that was a very, very hard 32 points. Yes, very hard 32 points. And that's what my other takeaway was, that they made these guys work. Remember one thing I told you, one thing about Jalen Brunson is when you get him to dribble the ball, that when he gets deep into the shot clock and he hasn't been able to get off his shot, which they ended up doing here a couple of times, he turned the ball over, he rushes his shot. They made him work on the defensive side, whether it was setting a hard screen. I know Victor, they say, got away with a push or cross his head or whatever, but no, I mean, he's getting Brunson off of him. So I appreciate that play. But when you make him work on defense, it tends to slow him down on the offensive side of the ball. So, the other takeaway that I've got is that they made them work. They made the Knicks work, and they played physical. So those are my takeaways from the game here. And kudos, I mean, we got to give where credit's due, man. The Knicks, they are good. I mean, they are really, really good. So for San Antonio Spurs fans, they feel like, well, this, they get the call that the Knicks are just that damn good. You got to give them props. Again, this is why we said it's going to be one of the best finals we've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, it definitely was a good win for the Spurs. And more of a I see. I don't know if it's a good win or more of a oh thank goodness win. Well, I think you summed it up best when you said it was a business win,
It's a
and that's
business win, man.
it was a business win. I know you take a win wherever it is, but there's a lot to clean up. There's still a lot to clean up. We saw they did not play 4 periods of basketball at all. Some just weird turnovers, silly fouls. They went cold from the field for a while. There's still work to be done. But the good news is the Spurs survive. They extend the series to a minimum 5 games. We'll see what happens. Hey, before we get into our categories, we got to hear from you. Leave a comment right now. What are your general takeaways from the Spurs 115-111 win over the Knicks in game 3? Rudy's going to read them, and we're going to react to them later on this episode. All right, time for our favorite
Super
game.
chat.
Oh, we got Super Chat. Go ahead.
At OKL3TS Go, $2 super chat. It says, imagine these young Spurs winning game 3 and 4 at Madison Square Garden. That's what I mentioned earlier. I mean, I remember I texted Jacob and I was like, imagine if they won games 3 and 4. And I mean, let's be real, Jeff. It's far fetched. They're going to probably sweep the Knicks and MSG. It's really hard to do. But if there's a team that can do it, you think it could be this team right here?
No.
I like the honesty. I mean, I love the honesty in it.
I don't. I think a part of me think the Knicks are probably kicking themselves, saying like, "Man, I think the Knicks are probably saying we let this go. We we let them have the win. It felt, and look, the Spurs are gonna take the win no matter what. But no, I don't think so. What would tell me a lot is they make it at least competitive in the first half of game 4, then we got a shot. But look, both teams are going to come out swinging because the last thing the Knicks need is to go into game 4 or game 5 tied. And all momentum the Spurs way. The last thing the Spurs need after game 4 is to be down 3-1 going into game 5. So you're going to see probably the best punches from these two teams in the next game. I don't know if we're really seeing the Spurs' best punch yet. And if we have, the Knicks have probably absorbed it. But we'll see. All right, Chad, go ahead.
We got another super chat, but before we move on to that super chat, I'm gonna comment on this one. This is why I'm gonna give the Spurs a chance to win game 4, because 1, 2, and 3, the refs have swallowed the whistle pretty much. And it's been the physical team that has won each game, the team that's been able to be clutch and physical. Spurs checked both of those marks off tonight. Spurs have been pretty physical the first couple of games and then tonight as well, but they haven't been clutch. Tonight they put both of them together, and I think if the refs are still going to be able to ref the same way that they have, Jeff, the Spurs have been the more physical team. So we may see another similar game in game 4 if they're allowed to get him up in Brunson and make it tough for him. If they're allowed to, push Cat around a little bit, keep him off the boards, we could possibly see another Spurs win there. This is the thing that you got to remember about a young team. Once they get a taste of victory in the finals, it could open up a floodgate. You saw that with OKC.
Okay.
OKC went to 7 games against Indiana. Now, forget, they shouldn't have won that series because of Halliburton. He was cooking them. But once a young team gets a taste of victory, it's like a shark in water. Once you see blood and get blood, you want more and more and more. Victor is a type of player that once he gets a taste of something, he tends to want it more. He tends to just crave it more. Stephon Castle, he had a really good game tonight. Boom, boom, boom. Once this young squad gets a taste of victory in the finals, it could be open season on the Knicks here, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We got a bunch of super chats coming in, man. We got another one coming up here. Appreciate the super chat at OKL.
Yeah, thank you, OKL. Appreciate that.
At Sports Talk with Austin, and dropping another 5 here. Again, appreciate that.
Thank you for that 5 spot.
Stephon Castle tonight provided his worth. Like Fox, everyone rags on them after the bad games, but you have them for this reason. Castle delivered big time. Jeff, that's on you. Plus, we got another one coming up here right after this.
All right, let's see here. Let me read it one more time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look. Castle has had a bad start to this series. Fortunately, he rose to the challenge in game 3. Definitely might pop up in my standout players in a few seconds. But no, he definitely proved his worth. I think he settled down. Did he crash the car a couple of times? He did. He did. There's some times where I still pull my hair out, Rudy. I'm like, what are you doing? You try to force too much. Like you'll see him go 1-on-3 at the rim. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Just take it back out, get a good shot going. But otherwise, no, he was huge. Without his effort in game 3, I don't know if the Spurs win, despite the Wemby's heroics. But yeah, definitely well deserved. Pat in the back. He's gonna have to bring it again, and that's the thing. He's gonna have to sustain that if the Spurs want to make it a series or complete the comeback after going down 0-2. So definitely need a lot more Castle. But I appreciate it, Austin.
Yeah, yeah, and again, more Castle's gonna have bad games. He's still young. He's still relatively young, man. So he may have some bad games here and there. Good thing is he kept the turnovers down tonight. Only 2 turnovers for Steph Castle. Fast start's kind of what you need. Got another super chat in here. We got at Spurs Theory, buddy boy over here. Appreciate him coming up.
Home.
It says the Spurs knew what game 3 meant. To me, they did not play their best ball, nor have we seen them play their best yet. But to grab this win on the road, the Spurs stepped up, faced with adversity once again. Best is yet to come. That's cool because Rehome obviously kind of understands where we're coming from when we said that if you look at the stats, the Spurs should not have won this game at all. I mean, out-rebounded by, I think, plus 13. The Knicks, the Spurs did have less turnovers, but the Knicks had, I think, 15-6 on the fast break points. I mean, there's a lot of different categories and major categories that the Knicks won. So on paper, Spurs should have never won this. It's not their best game, and that's why I was telling you earlier, you get a Spurs victory on a bad game. They got a taste of the win. They got a taste of victory. Could possibly be a good momentum swing going into game 4, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely, Rehome. I think you saw my tweet on X, Rehome, where I asked the question earlier, like, why does it feel kind of like, okay, the Spurs won, yay, does it feel like that? I think it is because the job is not done at all. And you're right. They did not play their best ball in this game. Again, go back to period 2. Did they even show up? I mean, I thought that for me, Rudy and Rehome, I thought that broke their back, the Spurs back, after coming that complete collapse. And then all the momentum's going to the Spurs to the Knicks in halftime. And thinking how they're going to recover for this. And again, what my keyword was poise. They showed the poise in the second half. But look, yeah, they got the win, Rehome. It was on the road. By the way, I guess home teams are not allowed to win in their home in this series, I guess, Rudy. No home team has won in their gym yet. Hopefully that continues in game 4. But
that's not a good thing if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Knicks have home court advantage.
But
so
no, the Spurs do. The Spurs win game 4.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Nobody wins home, then we're tough luck right there.
Let me ask you, Rudy, that last comment that Rehome made here at Spurs Theory. The best is yet to come. I'm not there yet. I don't know if the best yet to come because this is still a Knicks team that's very dangerous. And the Spurs best could come in game 4, but the Knicks best could also come in game 4. And statistically, the Knicks outplay them, at least through 3 games. If you average all the totals together, they still have a slight edge in some major categories. Your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, I look at the stats and I don't see Karl Anthony Towns having another 11-point game in game 4. I don't see Mikal Bridges having 2 points in game 4. I don't see Josh Hart going for 16. So, I mean, it kind of balances out a little bit. I do expect OG Anunoby to be close to that 17 to 20, point per game right there. Brunson's going to get his. So, if you do the math, if Cat has his normal game, just him alone, I mean, Knicks win probably convincingly in this game. So you're right. I mean, both teams have pretty bad games. Luckily, the Spurs were able to be clutch at the end of game 4 or game 3 in the fourth quarter to pull out that victory. I don't expect both teams to play bad in game 4. I actually think game 4 is going to probably mimic game 2 in this final series. Could even mimic game 1 in the OKC series. I mean, it's going to probably be a back and forth type game, and whoever hits shots at the end of the game and whoever gets the calls at the end of the game too are probably going to be the winners. So, the best is yet to come for San Antonio. I know that they can play a whole lot better, but the same thing with the Knicks. I mean, you're probably going to get way better games from a couple of players on New York side. I don't expect Jordan Clarkson to get 10 points here in game 4. So it's kind of like where these guys come down, the other guys kind of go up a little bit. So it's probably going to be another close game. But yeah, I agree with Riho. I mean, the best is yet to come, I think, for both sides of the ball.
Both sides. Yeah. Any other super chats before we move on?
We're good right now.
We're good. All right, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, everybody, for those super chats. We really appreciate it. All right, let's see what category Rudy's going to start us off with. Any, mini, miny, mo. Let's go with this one.
True standout players. I'm going to pick 2.
Should be easy. Should be easy.
Well, I'm going to give you the easy ones. I always give you the easy ones here.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate it.
No, I'm going to go with Stephon Castle tonight.
Obviously, yeah, huge.
I'll go with him for one of them. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers. He ended up getting a steal and a block in the game here. Kind of put stats together all around. Ended up with 4 fouls, but they were 4 good fouls. They weren't, one of them, I guess, is kind of like a, why did you do that type of foul? The other one, because he was bodying, Brunson, and he was playing some physical ball, and that's fine with me. 23 points tonight, 23 big points tonight, and that was key because he got the Spurs off to a very fast start, along with Victor Wembanyama. If I'm not mistaken, he had, 18 at half or something like that?
Yeah, he was cooking, man.
In the first half. So it was very vital, especially with that second quarter by the New York Knicks going 42-24 in that second quarter, almost scoring 50 points in one quarter. That's almost a halftime type of score right there, for an entire half. But Stephon Castle, for me, standout player. The only standout player I have, I got to go on the Knicks side, man. OG Anunoby, 28 points. I mean, what's crazy is a lot of people write off OG Anunoby, but if not for injury, I think he's probably their second best player in New York. I mean, defensively, he's a beast. He can rebound the ball. Back-to-back games, he's been able to dunk right where Victor's at, and Victor wasn't able to do anything about it, making some crazy 3-point shots. I mean, OG Anunoby's been a vital piece of the New York Knicks. I'm just glad that his 28 wasn't a difference maker tonight for the New York Knicks. But just a quick shout out to OG Anunoby and the Knicks side, man. I mean, the guy just continues to ball. Hopefully, when he becomes a free agent, he can maybe move him down south, Jeff. I'll rent him my house over here somewhere so he can live in San Antonio.
All right, I'm going to go with the obvious, and I already highlighted him in my takeaways. Victor Wembanyama, you needed him to step up and be the franchise player, be the star that the Spurs had, and he did that in Game 3. Once again, he finishes with 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in 38 minutes, came up big for the Spurs in the second half, 17 points, came up even bigger in the fourth period when the game was on the line, with 10 points in that fourth. Aside from the 10 points in the fourth, Rudy, he had a rebound. He had an assist. He goes 2 for 4 shooting from the field, has a block, 0 turnovers. He was a +3 in the fourth period. So, and by the way, he had 6 second chance points. And that is huge. So for me, it's the big man in the middle. It's Victor Wembanyama. Definitely is my standout player. All right, what is the next category we got for Rudy on deck? Which one are we gonna pick for Rudy? Let's go with this one.
Ooh, standout stats, man. There's not a lot of good ones to maybe choose for, so I'm gonna take a couple of good ones here. Assist was a big thing tonight for San Antonio. They had 28 assists tonight. New York, who's probably the best team in the league when it comes to moving the ball around, they only had 18 assists. Again, the 18 assists by the New York Knicks is 100% on the reason why the Spurs, on the defense for the Spurs. That's the reason why they had so very few little assists tonight for New York. But 28 assists for San Antonio. The ball movement was great. Turnovers were down. Only 8 turnovers in the game. So that assist to turnover ratio was in the Spurs' favor. That's what kept them in that game. That was one of the key reasons why in that third quarter they were able to pull off a 35-27 quarter, kind of get back into that game there, make it a game for themselves. That's one of the biggest stats for me. The other stat was I'm going to go with percentage of the lead, Jeff. I mean, they had 76% of the game here, San Antonio. Again, we've seen them go up, 80%, 85%, but they still lose the game. Why? Because in the fourth quarter, they tend to falter, they tend to fall. But very, very big of a key here. That percentage, they kept that lead in that fourth quarter when they were able to capitalize on some turnovers and some bad shots by the New York Knicks. They really were able to capitalize, and that's something that we haven't seen in San Antonio from games 1 and 2. Hopefully they cleaned it up, and that would be the last time we see those kinds of performances in the fourth
Mhm.
quarter. Because if it is, they're going to be a very tough team to beat if they can keep it close and if they can get off to a really good start in the fourth quarter. That's going to be the huge difference. Those are my two standout stats. And the other stat I got is I want to say 7.5 out of 10, which was the rating that Jeff Garcia gave Masters of the Universe. So congratulations, Jeff. You actually liked the movie.
I
Finally.
actually like the movie. Yeah, don't get me started on that. I do have some gripes, but for the
I
most
know.
part, it was a win.
Yeah.
And by the way, if y'all saw the second post-credit scene, they better deliver if they're going to do a sequel of that
Yeah.
arc. For me, my standout stat is the clutch time. The NBA defines the clutch, and Rudy, I believe, 5 minutes or less in the fourth period.
Yeah.
All right. So the Spurs won the clutch period. They outscored the Knicks 7-3 in the clutch. They connected on 2 shots, go 2 for 2 in the clutch, so 100% shooting. Hold the Knicks to 1 of 3 shooting in the clutch period. They connect on 1 3-pointer. They knock it down, and no turnovers in the clutch period. So I'm really proud about that. Overall, I like the fact that they won the clutch period because the game was on the line and they stepped up when it was money time, and boy, did they. So I'm going to give them the clutch stats edge. And finally, we're going to go with this category. I think y'all know what it is.
Man, there's so many turning points.
There's so many. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
really
mean, I might
funny.
pick one and you're good.
I think the third quarter, where we saw the Spurs falter and, coming out of halftime in one of these games, that would be a good turning point. Another turning point would probably be that fourth quarter when the Knicks, were making a comeback and
Mhm.
the Spurs were able to make answers left and right. But my turning point is at the end of the fourth quarter, he turns the ball over. He goes right back to make it up by getting a block on Karl Anthony Towns. Right there, that started the defensive
Mhm.
momentum, pressure, everything that the Spurs needed, and that was by De'Aaron Fox when he blocked
Mm.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
After that, you saw Victor getting in the blocks. You saw, everybody just getting right up in the Knicks spaces and making them work. It took a very difficult shot from OG Anunoby towards the end of the game to make a three-pointer over, I believe it was Champagne and that or Castle, and that was just a throw it up, and if it goes in, it goes in. It
Mhm.
went in. Really, the Knicks didn't have a chance even after that shot. It just felt like the Spurs were in total control. It started with that De'Aaron Fox block on Karl Anthony
Mhm.
Towns. That set the momentum. That basically put all the Fox haters back into the Fox hole, basically, and said, "Oh, you screwed up with a turnover. Oh crap, you got a block on Cat." Then he goes and he hits that clutch basket from the top of the key. So that block just set the mood for that entire end of the fourth quarter. That's my turning point because, again, I was clutching my necklace here, my chain, praying, thinking, God, do not get one of these bad fourth quarters again with the last 3 minutes of the game, 4 minutes of the game. You cannot survive again if you're going to allow this next team to come back. They did it. Key plays happen. Starts with that guy on your screen right there, number 4. You pay him the money for a reason. Tonight was one of those reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said, we hit this category, Rudy. There's so many turning points. I'm going to go with that fourth period run. The Spurs go on a +7 run on the Knicks to start the fourth period. It was 92-91 Spurs with a 1-point lead. So they go on that run, which was a 16-9 run, and they ended up having the lead at 108-100 with about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. But what wasn't good about that run, Rudy, was Wemby stepped up, as mentioned. He had 10 points in that run. He connects on 6 of 6 free throws. Harper, even though he goes 0 for 3, you had help. You had De'Aaron Fox score a bucket. Landry Shamet, the Spurs defense kind of clamped on him. He goes absent. He goes 0 for 4 in that run versus the Knicks. Overall, you see the Spurs just really take control of that fourth period in that run. that was so key. That was a turning point. Again, it was close to start that fourth period, 92-91, but the Spurs took control easy. So I loved that from your San Antonio Spurs. All right, those are our categories. Well, it's time for you guys. Rudy has been monitoring the chat room. Rudy, what we got cooking?
We got a lot, man. Let me just go down the bottom here. We got a bunch of chats.
Yeah, I see we got a bunch of them
Everybody
highlighted here, buddy.
We've got, Let's Go from Tex Rick and Joel, a great sponsor. And before we keep going on, Jeff, I'm seeing a video. Apparently, a bunch of Spurs fans got attacked on a New York
It was
Knicks.
one Spurs fan.
Was it one? I see a few Spurs fans in here, but yeah, one Spurs fan got attacked.
Well, he might have got the brunt of it. Yeah, not cool. If y'all want to see that video, follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone.
I'm gonna reshare this too on my.
All right,
video.
yeah. Can you do it on your end?
Yeah, I can actually try to share the video.
Yeah, you put it on here. Yeah, this is if you got young kids or young guys, you may not want to watch this, but it's got pretty ugly. And it was a guy wearing a Wemby jersey. Looks like he was on the streets of New York, and well, this happened.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll go back up to this part because
can you put it low?
Starts. I don't want to blow it up because then it'll come up a little. Well, maybe I can. I just don't want to cut the volume on it.
No, I don't think you need the volume. You just see it. Can you rewind it?
I mean, this is what's going on in New York right now. And come on, man. I mean, that's the problem I have with going. People say, well, why don't you go to an Astros Giants?
That's a Spurs fan getting jumped right now, everybody in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go cheer for my other teams at different arenas and stuff because of this reason, because there are so much unruly people. This is degenerate. This is dumb. This is stupid. And again, I'm one that if I was ever, a lawmaker, Jeff, people that are recording this incident without helping, I think they get fined and arrested because you're supposed to offer aid and stuff, man. This is BS right here. But yeah, if you want to catch the video, I just shared it out. Jeff's probably going to share it out to you. So it's just,
if you go to my Twitter right now at Jeff G Spurs Zone, it's more focused on the Spurs fan. You got one guy, he's shirtless and he has him in a headlock.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
here.
He has him on a headlock, and that was more Spurs focused on that guy. I don't know if he's trying to help him get out of there, but
We can
the video. Yeah, the video shows a guy. He's trying to help him, and you see it's a bunch of clowns just laughing at him right now.
So there you see the Wembanyama guy in the jersey. There's a Spurs guy right there.
That guy that wearing it without a shirt, he tries to help him. I think he's trying to escort him out of there, and then that's it. And here we go.
This is the type of crap that I hate to see, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's messed.
This is terrible by Knicks fans, and this is horrid, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah, see, they're trying to rip his wing. See, the guy that without the shirt, he's trying to get him out of there. It looks like he's trying to find him, but he's not. You'll see at the end. See, he has him in the headlock there.
Dude.
Protect his head.
I know it's your hometown for 20 years, Jeff, but
no, I've seen worse, really, believe it or not.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah.
It's just this has just got to go, man. It's gotta go.
That's
more comments coming in. Castle played great. Contributions from a lot of guys. Wemby being Wemby, definitely. Clutch team win. The clutch defense. Yeah, I mean, clutch was the key word for me tonight. At MPA 3010, the Spurs need to exhaust the Knicks out. Says I paid Danhausen the money. Yeah, the curse, man. We got the curse lifted off the Spurs apparently. So appreciate him for doing that. Chili con Carlos, great win tonight. The Spurs needed the confidence booster. Mitch coached a way better game tonight. Let me go through the more comments, but comment on that because I know I've been saying Mitch got kind of out coached in the first two games, but I'm going to say he didn't really coach any better tonight than he has in the past two games. I think maybe a little bit better of a coaching job, but I still don't think it was his best coaching job, Jeff. What do you think on that?
It was better. I like the fact he caught a timeout before the bleeding started a couple times. I thought that was key. He actually played, I don't know if you caught this, the three-headed guard lineup a couple times.
Yes, I've been waiting to see that. Jesus.
Yeah, he played it, and I think it worked. I think it's something you could probably toy with going into game 4. But I saw a better coaching job from Mitch, smarter use of the replays. I thought that was key as well. Overall, he got better. But again, You don't know if it was also the law of averages because what the Knicks were on a 14, 13 game winning streak, playoff winning streak.
Yeah.
They were due for a loss. Was that it? Who knows? Maybe that loss might fuel the Knicks now. I don't know. But Mitch, and he's got to get this team ready for game 4. I hope they have a nice dinner. And when it takes 2 to 3 hours to finish that dinner, that's it. Game 3 is over. It doesn't exist anymore. It's 0-0 for game 4.
Super chat just came in again with Sports Talk with Austin. Appreciate all the support from Sports Talk.
Yeah,
with
Austin. Let me give Austin here a little bit of applause here.
Might have to get Austin. Might have to get Austin a shirt or something from one of our sponsors here. So we got to do something for him here. It says Dylan Harper was born for this. He is fearless. He seems to be loving the big stage, and there is no bigger stage in the NBA Finals. It seems like nothing bothers him. He plays with that swagger.
He's playing good, man. He is playing good. I can't Rudy. What I've been saying, and you too, Austin. It feels like the Knicks don't have an answer for him. They don't. He toasts them. He burns them every time he's out there, man.
Yeah, I don't want to keep saying what I've been saying about Dylan Harper. So just go back and watch Spurs in Focus for many times, because I've had Dylan Harper as a superstar before Rutgers when he was coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because one of the national media guys, said that Dylan Harper should have been drafted number 1 over Cooper Flag. And I'm glad that he starts listening to Box Score Studio and stuff, because that's been down for a long ass time.
Rudy knows, Austin. Rudy knows.
No, he's born for this. And I mean, he's got a brother that plays with the Celtics who plays really well, is a big key this year. But also, look at his dad, man. I mean, he's an NBA champion. He's an NBA champion. He was one of the best two-way players in the NBA. And it shows Dylan Harper, the type of player that he is when he's got Ron Harper as a dad. Plus, his mom was his high school basketball coach. She knows a great deal about basketball as well. So he's got the genes in him. He's got no fear. He's going to prove why he's probably going to end up being the second guy on this team, basically a Nightwing to Victor Wembanyama's Batman. I don't think he's going to be Robin, Jeff. He's going to be Nightwing. He's going to be his own star there. And that's what I like about Dylan Harper, is that he's fearless. He knows what he's got to do to get the job done. And he just does not take 3-point shots. I'm going to take the mid-range. No, he gets to the basket. He plays old school basketball. So yeah, appreciate that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Real nice of you.
And tons of comments. So we got to get back up into here.
Yeah, let's get into it, Rudy.
Spurs and Theories in here. Love seeing Harper out there in the final minutes.
That was huge. Hey, again, you're talking about Mitch Johnson making adjustments. That could have been an adjustment right there.
The 3-guard adjustment, I like. That was one thing I did like to see him there. Feels weird. We should have won at home.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, that's that question. Yeah, about the game 3 win, but it feels like okay, I guess. That's what it feels like.
A lot of people feel that we should be up 3-0. I think we should be up 2-1. I think 2-1. I'll give you 2-1.
Yeah, I think 2-1 is not 3-0.
I think game 1 they just lost it. I mean, there's no way that could have gotten. Game 2 probably should have had a win right there.
Yeah.
There's not about that. 30-point quarters are killers, 40-point are catastrophic.
Yeah, we saw one.
They showed guts tonight. Yep. That 40-point game was crazy bad, man. Spurs in Theory, they did respond really well at halftime, giving up 42 in the second, 37 in their own. Yeah, I mean the response in halftime, Jeff, that was key. That was really big. Tim is in here. Carter Bryant made some silly mistakes tonight. He did.
I think Mitch has a short leash on him in these finals, man. I mean, one mistake and he gets pulled.
But do you think Mitch is using Carter just to get fouls at this point? It seems like he's allowing him to play defense, but if you get a foul, it's okay. And I think,
hey, it's fouls, man.
I mean, you got to rough them up somehow. I think that's one thing. Happy they fought.
Yeah, they're all Plumlee in that case.
Yeah, no kidding. Credit to the Knicks. They're really making a struggle to put them away. They just keep making big plays to steal the momentum over and over again. See, Jacob Ericus, they can take the brooms and shove it, basically.
Yes, sir. That's right, Jacob.
No more sweep tonight. We were in their faces throughout the game. We got Spurs in 7.
Ooh. That would be historic. Literally be historic if that happens.
Spurs in 7, man. That would be really historic. Rock's in here. What a game. Just annoyed about the lack of discipline, but it's bound to happen. I have a feeling it's tied up heading back to Saturday.
It was not a pretty game, Rocky, at all. It was not. It was Rudy gave it a D+ Great from the silver and black. I gave him a C plus grade.
Yeah, definitely did, man. We got another comment here. It says, "Go Spurs, go! It's your
What?
boy. We are pulling for you here in Boston. Now go out there on Wednesday, ranking series 2-2. Yeah, definitely gonna try.
I mean, that's
Hopefully,
key, Quap. That's key.
Wemby would do us good inside tonight. He got that's where he
Yes, they
his most
established him
damage.
early. They established him early in the paint. That was good. He was aggressive, finding him for lob dunks, getting him close to the rim. I like that.
Yeah, Spurs did a good job, and I really give them credit. Thanks for Joel to bringing this up here. They were able to get the Knicks in foul trouble pretty early to get into the bonus, and that was kind of key with the free throws. They shot 32 free throws tonight, and a lot of that was because they were able to get the Knicks in foul trouble early and hit that bonus early here. Three from Clarkson was ridiculous, and then Harper responds back with a three. It was beautiful. The Knicks threw up a couple of shots tonight that were just prayers, and they went in.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby at
The
the end.
Anunoby one, yeah, that's one right there. Yeah,
Jordan Clarkson, again, that play, that was back in his high school days, I'm sure. Brothers BKL, Sports Entertainment. Hey, guys, good game. The game was seriously crazy, which what I watched, plus the challenge Colleen made by John Goble was so flop. Who cares? Knicks in 6. I will also crash out. And I yep out the things. Oh, man, I love the banter. I love Brother BKL when he's in here because, yeah, I mean, it looks like the Knicks. Put it this way, the Knicks still have the edge, Jeff. I mean, we're not
They do.
taking anything away. They still have the edge. They're still the favorites and all that stuff. It could be just one bad game, then, and it happens, man. It happens. Spurs Wolf is in here. If I could bring up the comment. Oh, there it goes. Good evening, gents and Spurs fans. Let's go. What a great game. How much is the series? 2-1 Knicks. It could be easy be 3-0 Spurs. I don't know about 3-0. We just kind of said.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be 3-0. 2-1. We'll give them 2-1 if it should be 2-1. Yes.
Got another super chat, man. Spurs are
Let's
awesome.
hit it.
He wants tickets. You're gonna have to get him tickets to a game, Jeff. He's dropping hard cash.
I think Austin, I think you might check out. I think you reach. Help me out here, Rudy. Like you get medals, like sticker medals, if you become like a super member on YouTube, something like that. I'm new to this.
Say something on
A badge or something like that. They got badges. Yeah.
I'll tell you, if that sports talk with Austin, if you have X, DM me on the Sports Answer. DM me because I got something for you that I can get to here. So
There you go.
appreciate that here. So just go ahead and shoot me a DM.
It's a 6-pack of tortillas. That's what it is.
gosh, no, man. I haven't eaten tortillas in a while, but it says Wemby answered the call as well after media put the hot seat on him, and he answered, "I love this back. Coach Pop is still around the team in the gym, passing on his wisdom and helping this young team grow up." That's key, man. To have the veterans like Tim and David, guys that have been battle tested, and then to have Coach Pop still a part of the organization, getting a hold of the guys. How much influence do you think Coach Pop has on this team?
A lot. I mean, that's all they've been.
Especially in the
His name has been popping up left and right in these finals.
Yeah.
You know, Wemby says we talked to him, that Pops was waiting for him at the airport. Mitch is talking to him. So they are definitely leaning on him and his words of wisdom in this finals run.
Yeah, it is. And, the thing with Wemby, man, he got called out and, now he's being called dirty of some of the plays that he makes.
What did you think about that kind of a hit on Brunson there?
It could have been called for a flagrant. I can see that, but
I was
At
bracing
this-
for that flagrant call.
it's at the same time. I mean, Brunson is known to be a guy that flops from time to time. So how much do you put into it? It's almost like that Keldon push on Mitchell Robinson. I texted you. It's BS that if they call that foul on offense, because yeah, he extended his arm, but he didn't pull. I mean, you can't push Mitchell Robinson that far into Wemby just by extending the arm just a little bit there. So I would say that foul probably should have been called as an offensive foul, Victor. But nothing more than that. And he's not a dirty player. He's 7'4". If a guy's going to be up in his face, what do you expect him to do? More than likely, his elbows and arms are going to be right at the head of most of these young guards and little guards. So it's going to happen. I don't buy that at all. I don't really buy that. But again, appreciate Austin here for
thank you, Austin. Appreciate that.
Yeah, if you could DM me, we got X, shoot me a DM. I'll get you something for sure. For everything that you're doing this for us here. We got more. We're still slow rotating with the Knicks swing the ball around, but Knicks were 0 for 10 from 3 in the fourth. So I don't know, we made that super contested corner three. That's what I'm saying, Jeff. They weren't hitting their threes like they normally do. So fingers crossed, Spurs got a win. That's kind of big there, I think. So Yeah, it's more like a whoo type of thing. Castle was cold-blooded with that 3 and
Yeah, he
free throws.
was. Yeah, he was clutch at the free throw line.
Spurs need more Cornet.
I think at this point, Rudy, he is what he is. I mean, you can't. It's the finals. That's it. I think what you
He
see
did
is
a
what
better
you get
job.
at this point. He did a better job, yes, but don't expect anything more than that, in my opinion. I keep your expectations low going into the next game.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that. So, written, I'm assuming is a Knicks fan. He said awful refs, but then he did mention that why no ejection on Wemby. I again, I could see that if they reviewed it and they got a flagrant foul on it, I could definitely see them calling a flagrant on that foul on Brunson. But they didn't review it. The Knicks didn't call timeout, nothing like that. I mean, it was just not reviewed. So you just kind of play on. But that's what I was saying, Jerry. If the refs continue to ref the way that they have been in these first 3 games, Spurs have been the more physical team. They're going to let them be physical. I think that's what gives the Spurs a little bit of an advantage, man. So, I mean, I get I get that. Exactly. We found a way. And to your point, Rudy, it's a gutsy performance. All day B-ball. Spurs in 6. He's still going. I said Spurs in 6 too, but I'm not.
The
saying
predictions are still alive, B-ball.
It is, man. Spurs in 3. Mike is in here. Yeah, definitely. My wife is like, you're not jumping up and down. And I said we should have lost that game.
Yeah, see. So it wasn't just me then. I think collectively a lot of Spurs fans were like, okay, we won. Like that. That's what it felt like. Like, all right,
It's
cool.
It's bad.
Yeah.
We stopped the New York streak finally. Go Spurs, go! Basically neutralized Brunson and Cat.
They did, yeah. They did. They were non-factor for the most part.
Cat, definitely did not have a good game tonight. Yeah, I see where you're coming from too, Jeff. Which got honestly, the Knicks are really not that good. They played lesser teams to get where they
How
are.
about that? Yeah, strength of
They're
schedule,
doing a lot of luck
yeah.
and good fortune, and they can also be hard to beat. I don't want to give the Knicks a lot of short change here. They did play a really soft playoff schedule, but it's not their fault. I'm not going to blame them. I mean, they handled business. And if it was super soft, then they would have probably been really flat against the Spurs and had no way of coming back with that Spurs defense in game 1. That was really the only game they won, Jeff. I don't give them the game 2 because they were cold in game 2. If not for a Victor mistake, I mean, the Spurs are up 2-1, I think, in this series.
The biggest what if right now. We got a new what if scenario in Spurs history now. What if Wemby didn't turn the ball over?
Golly, tell you what though, guys, OG is a player, man. I really like he carries himself.
Yeah, he's a good player, man.
He's gonna be a Spur. I'm telling you.
And remember, don't forget, he's a champion. He won one with the Raptors, so
that he
been
did.
there, done that.
That he did. Knicks in 5. They're calling Knicks in 5 now. After it was Knicks in 4 all day today in New York. I mean, the biggest player off the bench and throughout the team was our very own Dylan Harper.
Yeah,
he kept Spurs in check. You think he's close to being Finals MVP if they end up winning?
He's in the
at
running.
least second.
He's in the running.
Second best player.
Yeah, second best player. Yeah,
I'll give you that. Give you that. Non-game question: is it me or is Mike Breen losing a little bit of his step? He doesn't sound super excited like for sure. I think Doris Spurs took a little bit of soul when they put her with him. Definitely. Like,
hey, have you noticed too? The announcers are making kind of like weird mistakes. Like I don't know if you caught this during the broadcast, but they kept on calling this game a closeout game for the Knicks.
Yeah,
I caught it a few times.
Yeah,
I was like, no, it's not a closeout game, but whatever.
Yeah, I've been catching that a lot too. Webby kept deferring to the team when he was tired and they stepped up. That he did. I mean, I think he still understood the goal and the focus at hand, but that he did. There have been a couple of videos coming out. Yeah, there's a lot of videos of that guy. Definitely. And a bunch of cowards for jumping him. Great stuff, Austin. I agree with you 100%. He's been consistent during the first 3 games of the playoffs. What else do we got in here, man? We got a ton more. Harper.
Did we skip one of Austin's super chats or no? We got them all.
No, so far we've got them all.
We got them all. Okay, I just want to make sure. I thought we skipped one.
Yeah, if we did, I would know. But I'm looking at everything. We have not skipped anything. Keep shooting, kid. I don't care. From Dylan Harper. Shout out to Sith, man. He had a birthday yesterday, I believe.
Happy birthday, Sith.
Happy birthday to Sith out
This was a
there.
belated Spurs gift, a win for you on your birthday.
Yeah, I texted Wemby and said you have to win one for Sith, so he ended up doing that.
I'm waiting for him
Spurs
to
legend.
share a picture. I sent him a Darth Vader San Antonio Missions themed baseball cap, and I want to see a
Jeez.
picture of him wearing it. He hasn't sent a
Oh.
picture yet.
I need to text him then to make sure he gets that. We got Dylan Harper seems to be more consistent than Wemby. I wouldn't be surprised if Harper ends up being the better star.
Ooh, ho, 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 ho. That's for a whole other show, man.
Can I say that?
Oh, here goes Rudy. Here goes Rudy. All right, go ahead.
I mean, kind of agree a little bit, maybe. I mean, he could be. Put it this way: seven foot four guy, 7'4" guy. If he lasts more than 10 years, 11 years in the league, yeah, definitely he'll be the face of the league for a while. But there's still a lot of questions behind the scenes whether he has a 10-year, 11-year career. I mean, we have yet to see a guy have a long career at his height. So that's what remains to be seen. But for right now, it's Victor. I mean, there's no doubt about that, man. I'll say 2-1-2. Yeah, I mean, they should be at 2-1. Everybody's agreeing with the 2-1. Game 1, they were coming out there high with Game 7 wins. So, yeah, Madison Square Garden belongs to the Spurs now.
I don't know about that, but hey, if they win in Game 4, maybe. But I think this was Wemby's first win in New York City in his career.
I believe so.
I know he's had phenomenal performances, but I don't think he's ever won in since the Wemby era.
I don't think so.
I think this is the first Spurs win in MSG. So
under
the Wemby era. There we go.
Well, he needs to go on a winning streak then, because Jesus.
All right, that's the next step. Winning streak is next.
Got another super chat, man. This is another one. Spurs with Austin, the $20 super chat. Says, I appreciate your guys' hard work. The team is growing up. I will say after what happened in Game 1 and 2, Spurs going up big, and the Knicks finding a way back. But tonight they grew up and punched back and didn't let go of the road.
Yeah,
I kept the clutch game, man.
Yeah,
clutch game.
I kept repeating that Austin throughout the entire game. I go, maintain the lead, just maintain that lead, and you'll be all right, Spurs. And for the most part, they maintained the lead.
Yeah, they did, and the growing up part, I mean, I think in Game 1 and 2, I think when we did our Spurs in Focus React, I did mention, especially in Game 2, I mentioned the fact that this is where the immaturity, the young squad, they came into play. They made some mistakes that they weren't making throughout the regular season, and now's not the time to be happening. They actually grew up tonight, and it showed in that fourth quarter. Mitch Johnson believed in that 3-guard rotation for a little bit with Harper, Castle, and Fox on the floor. He allowed, De'Aaron Fox to control the team. De'Aaron Fox put a lot of guys in position. He saw a bunch of alley-oops to Wemby, a bunch of lobs to Wemby between Castle and Fox. So they grew up tonight, and that's what I was telling you. If they got their first taste of a victory in the finals, that could potentially open the floodgates for more victories in the finals. I mean, as a bowler, I've been on many times as a tournament. When you're trying to get your first win as a tournament and you're on TV or you're on a stream or something, you're nervous, man. You're on a big stage. You've never been there before. So you're going to make a couple of mistakes until you get adjusted. Once you get that first win, it just all falls into place. You get, the taste of it. You're like, I want to win more. I want to win more. You may see the same thing from San Antonio. Now that they got that first victory, especially in a hostile environment, it could open up the floodgates, man. So we'll definitely see.
Well, check this out. This is from Dylan Harper post game. He says, quote, I feel like everyone knew how important this game was. Our back was against the wall. Obviously, you don't want to go down 3 games. For us, every game is just as important, but this game, you could kind of feel it. So there you go. It goes back to growing up and realizing what is at stake.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely know, man. They definitely know because, this is Dylan Harper. He's wise beyond his years. Man. Definitely is wise beyond his years. And I'm loving it. But again, appreciate the super chat from Sports Talk.
Yeah, thank you, Austin.
The support he's giving us tonight. I mean, you got to get him something. I'm going to definitely give him something.
Rudy has something cooking for you, Austin.
For sure. We got to make him a moderator. That's what they're saying. We can make him a moderator on this Spurs.
You like one of the little alien Muppets from Sesame Street?
I got to work. I'll get with MCS General Contracting to hopefully get him a shirt here, at least from my Spurs In Focus. So Hefe, probably 90% of this team still just behind the scenes now.
Yeah, he is. Popovich is definitely
Yeah.
hits.
I would think so. It's a good thing my blood work was this morning because I'm full of margaritas right now. Everybody in San Antonio drinking up a storm. The difference in the series was Spurs won a very emotional Western Conference Finals against the Thunder with a young team that can be deathbed mix or all wider, but they did. Yeah, and that's
Mm,
I get game one coming out flat, but I mean the Spurs, game two, man. Game two is that pivotal game that
mhm.
appreciate you fellas. B-Day wish Spurs in 7 and it's coming up. He did say he wore the hat. He's gonna post a picture of it.
Oh yeah, I just don't know. I just haven't seen a photo with him.
Yeah, he said he's gonna wear it. He'll put it up there.
Okay.
Ready from the I hope not. Please, I hope not. When Spurs fans y'all go to game 5,
Oh,
treat
that's
the Knicks
right. I
fans.
forgot about that.
Don't treat the Knicks fans the way that they did that poor kid tonight in Madison or in New York. We're better than that. We have to be better than that.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, call timeout. 7'5", amazing with the athleticism, the way he did. But Harper is playing even better than Wemby and Cooper, rookie year at a minimum role. So he could be him. He's making the case, man. He's making the case.
He is him, but Rudy thinks he can surpass Wemby.
Rudy, Silverwolf said it. I said I kind of agree. I could agree with it.
Okay, you could agree with it. Okay, well, Wolf said that.
It depends on how long Victor's career will be. That's the thing I got. Yeah, I like this one. Sports Talk, I'll spend a small fortune on us tonight here. Yeah.
Hey, that's where we appreciate Austin, man. We appreciate it.
Get those likes up. The guys deserve a great show as always.
Thank you, Silver Wolf.
Appreciate that. How many bar restaurants in and around San Antonio MSG, Griff? You know that. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been this. You know what? I never told you this. There is a sports bar near MSG that has my autograph on a baseball, and they sealed it up in those clear boxes, and I'm on their wall of fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia with the autograph.
Yeah. It was so bizarre. I must have spent a fortune that night. I guess that's why they let me have it.
That's why.
But yeah, I don't remember the name of the bar. That's how much cooked I was. But I would go there a lot. And this when I lived in Manhattan for 1 year. And I think that's when it was. I would go there a lot. And then one day the owner says, "Hey man, you want to be part of our wall of fame?" So he gives me a baseball and I have my autograph. So there's a sports bar near MSG that has a baseball with my signature on it, and it's on their wall of fame. So it'll be cool if somebody could find that, take a picture of it.
Nice. I meant with hugs and kisses is what he's saying. So yeah, I guess give us hugs and kisses. Last comment at Chili con Carlos. I'm going to a kids party at AR Entertainment on Saturday, 7:30. I hope they have the game on. Yeah. I mean, I'm supposed to be busy Saturday, but I think I'm gonna be able to watch the game. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a Saturday game, right?
Yeah, I believe game 5 is this Saturday.
There's the Toros home opener is this Sunday, so it shouldn't conflict.
I'll confirm it now. It's Wednesday and then Saturday is game 5. Yeah.
Thank goodness there's a 2-day gap though. I appreciate that.
Yeah. There is a 2-day gap.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it's 2-day gap, and it's not crazy because then it's a 2-day gap if they go to game 6, which prayer, hoping that they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all the comments we
got up.
Yeah, I got a W. Jeff is the last comment here. So,
oh yeah, about the baseball thing. Yeah. It's like I feel like the bar's on the tip of my tongue right now. I can see it in my mind's eye. I can hear it. I can feel it. I know what it looks. I know where exactly the street is. Or you go out, look to your left. MSG's like right there. But man, I forgot the name of it. But yeah, there's a baseball with my autograph on there. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
All the tales of fun I had in New York City for 20 years. But at least for the next few days, I'm only rooting for the Spurs. And then I can go back to cheering for my adopted kid. Once the Spurs get the win, hopefully crossing fingers. Hey, everybody. We thank y'all for staying up really late with us to discuss the Spurs relief win, or as Rudy says, the business win. My goodness, they needed it and they got it. 115-111. Spurs still down in the series 2-1 versus the Knicks. Game 4 will be Wednesday night, still in MSG. Hopefully the Spurs can steal those 2 games just as much as the Knicks stole the Spurs 2 home games.
Yeah.
But we shall see. I'm expecting a slugfest, Rudy. I'm expecting this to probably go down to the wire again, as we saw in the first few games. So I can expect anything less. And we will have a game 4 preview with you tomorrow. We have on deck Hector Ledesma. Yeah, our Spurs in Focus playoff reporter. He is joining us. We're going to be discussing the next game, preview it. What should the Spurs do to keep that winning vibe going and hopefully tie up the series? That's going to be coming up tomorrow here on Spurs in Focus. Rudy, tell us about the Sports Answer.
Yeah, man, we were off last week on Friday, the Sports Answer. We should be back this Friday. It's on the Answer Now TV on YouTube and Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. It's myself and Derek Irvin. Should be getting you guys ready for at least Game 5. We'll recap all the NBA Finals games so far. You'll get an NBA player, former NBA player's perspective on the NBA Finals. Derek provides really good commentary, really good, analysis when it comes to NBA basketball, obviously. So I'll catch myself and Derek Irvin hopefully this Friday on the Sports Answer of the Friday Drive, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to follow Rudy on X at the Sports Answer? Do that right now. Subscribe to his show on YouTube at the Sports Answer. Go search for it, give it a subscription, and you'll be good to go. Rudy, thank you for helping me out tonight here on this live episode of Spurs in Focus. We always appreciate yours. Contributions, takes on the Spurs wins and losses. Rudy will be back sometime this week. He'll definitely be back after Game 4. Hopefully, we're celebrating a win. We'll see what happens. Everybody else, we thank you all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You want to unsubscribe to the rest of those other shows you might be subscribed to. Just subscribe to us here at Spurs in Focus and subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. The list goes on and on. Check out Spurs in Focus Substack completely free. Go sign up right now. I would definitely appreciate that. We have a lot of good stuff on there. Hey, there's even an article about Wemby drawing in New York Park. Go check it out. We got it all covered for you at Spurs in Focus on Substack. So, yeah, we definitely appreciate it. Once again, your Spurs get the win. Game 3, much needed. Hopefully the winning vibes will continue. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.